Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump has almost certainly obtained all the security footage given to Fox News. You have numerous articles, a whole bunch of articles. McCarthy gives CARLSON access to January footage, raising alarms, Associated Press. If Kevin McCarthy gave Tucker Carlson and Fox News the 41,000 hours, he almost certainly gave the footage to former President Trump. The reason they had the January committee was to indict or to charge President Trump. All of these investigations have led to no indictment, and they might actually indict him just because of felonies committed by Hunter and Joe that the New York Post reported within that laptop. Okay? Clear violations of the law with emails asking Hunter, how can you use your influence on the company's behalf? And then you have a change in U.S. foreign policy, Joe Biden telling on himself, and then the absurd excuse, oh, well, he was doing it for the good of that country. It's like, no, that's absurd. And you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where they might actually indict him, whether it's Georgia or another investigation, just to even the score. Most of the country is not enamored with Biden. The economy is in the tank. We have record highs in inflation. Inflation is actually going up. We have food shortages. Eggs are overpriced. Gas is going back up. You have 90 seconds to midnight in terms of foreign policy. You know who just left the last remaining nuclear treaty that they were a part of with the United States. So we're closer than ever to the annihilation of the planet. And all they're focused on is Trump committing a crime. We have foreign policy that's a catastrophe with an invasion in Europe under the watch of Democrats. The economy is slowly going into a recession, another one, and they've yet to indict Trump. The footage is going to exonerate a whole bunch of people that day, and it was a terrible day. Do I condemn that day? Yes. I would love to see a condemnation of that summer, and I agree with why people demonstrated, but that summer, $1 to $2 billion in insured property damage. There's just the insurance claims for buildings that weren't under insurance or didn't have insurance. Who knows what the total cost in terms of property was, but you had 14,000 arrests all throughout that summer, curfews in every major city. But Democrats and Kinzinger and Cheney focused on one day. Terrible day. But you had 4 supporters of Trump who lost their lives, and then the officer lost his life. Okay, I do think that was, of course, related to the events of that day. But, so that was terrible. But again, you have a whole bunch of bizarre things that took place, okay? In 2016, I think it was 2015 or 2016, 2 Democratic operatives, according to CNN, were forced out of their position. They resigned because they literally got people to commit chaotic criminal activity at Trump's speeches, okay? This was according to CNN. This is the type of thing Democrats have done towards Trump. That is a fact. You can look, CNN, 2 Democratic operatives resigned, okay, for fomenting chaos at Trump rallies. That is according to CNN. It doesn't take a grandiose leap of logic to question whether that type of thing might have taken place. The security footage, ladies and gentlemen, is going to exonerate Trump because it's going to show that whereas it was a terrible day that should never have taken place, a whole lot of very bizarre things happened. And it wasn't Trump supporters trying to devour democracy or take over the government. That is absurd. That is absurd. You had some video. In fact, one person was actually acquitted because it showed that he was actually just let in. Okay, so you're probably going to see a whole bunch of footage. There's been footage out there of people being pushed into the building. So there's 41,000 hours of footage that Trump has. He will then almost certainly release the footage that he feels will help his cause or exonerate him. What happened, ladies and gentlemen, the past 6 years, 7 years, is that we don't have media anymore. We don't have a free press. It is only an extension of the Democratic Party, just like Twitter was. We don't have an apolitical media. We have media firmly on the side of the Democratic Party, and they're going to lie to the American people. They're going to omit the entire story. They will only point to whatever the footage or the narrative is that suits the Democratic Party. Years ago, I was accused by people on the left, because I was on the left my whole life. Well, why do you focus on this and that? Why don't you focus more on Trump? And I was looking and I'm saying, well, the cheating and the chaos and the cheating Bernie Sanders and railroading the candidate and lying to their voters and focusing on never-ending wars in terms of foreign policy, that's on the Democratic Party side. Trump is much less... If you want to talk about corruption, if they investigated Hunter and Joe and Hillary's server, we don't even know how top secret and special access program intelligence were transferred onto servers. It is not even possible. The Honorable James Comey didn't explain how that's possible. From a cyber perspective, you can't go into government networks and siphon classified data. Imagine if Trump did that and he had private servers. They get away with everything up until recently. This is a huge, huge event, ladies and gentlemen. Then you're going to have impeachment. So the next year and a half or so before 24, the next 2 years, but going into 24, you're going to have impeachment. You're going to have, you might have DeSantis jump in, but he'll lose miserably to Trump. You might have Trump indicted, but you'll also have an impeachment of Biden based on felonies, not, he might have done something in a phone conversation. He was meddling, and a whole bunch of people who despise Trump think that he committed a crime. No. You'll have actual felonies. And so they might go after Trump because on the Democratic Party side, you actually have felonies. Hit subscribe to this channel. Be here at 7 a.m. tomorrow. I think I'm going to start doing a 7 a.m. segment and then a segment before noon to start the morning off. So the 7 a.m. segment will be important tomorrow. Hit subscribe. We're almost at 204,000 subs, ladies and gentlemen. So it's because of you. Go to hagoodman.com to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications. Things are heating up, and it's really going to be, it's going to be important, I think, ladies and gentlemen, that you watch this channel because we can be on this journey together. I'm honored to be on this journey with you. They tried desperately to indict or imprison Trump because they're so utterly corrupt. They're so focused on trying to censor, for example, the New York Post. What side is censoring, media? It's the Democratic Party side. Imagine if Trump was able to censor the New York Times. They would never allow that. Imagine if Trump bought a dossier and then utilized the dossier within government agencies to investigate Hillary or Joe. They would never allow that. And so, because they don't like Trump's personality, they're willing to do things they would never allow done to them. The pendulum, like I've been saying for like 6-7 months, is swinging back to Trump. Now, if he gets the Arizona and Georgia Republican parties on his side, there's no stopping him. In 24, there's no stopping him. If he doesn't get the Georgia and Arizona Republican parties, Hillary Clinton, I believe, will become president because I don't think Mashed Potato Brains Joe is going to be the nominee. I just don't. I don't think that he's going to be the nominee. I think it'll be Hillary Clinton. I think it'll be Clinton-Trump 24. And I've been the only person in all of YouTube saying this for years, but eventually it's going to happen. Anyway, hit subscribe to this channel. Be here tomorrow at 7 a.m. Trump has the footage, all 41,000 hours, okay? So he has the footage. If Tucker Carlson has the footage, then Trump has the footage. And you have to, I think people underestimate how smart he is. Sometimes he gets in his own way. But there's a reason that the entire American political establishment is after this man. They don't like his foreign policy because his foreign policy emphasizes peace, and all the morally superior among us don't care about that. And they don't like his economic policy because it doesn't revere or worship the sacred cows that they worship. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Be here tomorrow at 7 a.m., ladies and gentlemen, 7 a.m.